Welcome back to Adam's Saruwatari Xtreme. So Adam asked me to come by to answer a question from our very good subscriber, Michael. And in return, I'm getting date night at any restaurant of my choosing, so you know it's going to be quite expensive. So with that said, his question is, what is my daily driver? And as you can see behind me, it's a 997S. Ooh, okay, duty calls, so I'm going to have to catch you guys later, okay? What is it, baby?
Well, my friends, I guess we can chalk that up to occupational hazard. I'm not really used to that ever happening. However, we saw that Drew has to tend to Natalia, which means that I don't have a camera person. So I guess I'll just have to fly solo. And Michael, the bottom line is she drives a 997S and she loves this car. We had to look for this car for ages, possibly over a year, because she wanted the slate gray and she wanted a Tiptronic. Now, I know those of you that are purists will be like, exactly why Tiptronic? Well, we must remember that Drew's family is from LA. She has to drive in traffic and she loves to eat and drink, which drives me nuts because I do not allow eating or drinking in my own vehicles. But I must admit, she does a pretty good job, although it still does drive me nuts. She loves a two-wheel drive model because, as all of us know, she likes to kick the tail out. So if we take a look inside, we can see that a lot of the interior has been upgraded to carbon fiber. Of course, the Tiptronic. The rear seats are key because child seat. That's what makes the 997S so nice and the perfect vehicle for her. Because as we all know, it provides the image she wants, and yet she can have Natalia in the back riding with her. So those two can cruise in style. One of the main reasons she likes the 997S is she can do the maintenance on it. She does it herself. Upgrades and things like that, yours truly, and I work for pretty cheap. That's why she loves it. So if we take a look back here, what I've done in the engine compartment area, quite simple and reliable, but nice looking. Carbon fiber, carbonial intake. If we look down below, I fabbed up some exhaust manifolds for her, changed the exhaust because she wasn't exactly happy with the exhaust tone. And if we look in the practicality side, in the front, I changed the brakes to 8-piston Brembos in the front. You can see that it barely fits in the wheels, and 4-piston calipers in the rear. She loves those factory upgraded wheels because they are so light. We changed to the T-Equipment front nose. You can see up front she drives very fast, so she has jammers. But basically this is a very good daily for the family mobile. Then if we look up front, it gives you a true idea of how practical this car is for everyday use. Yes, I don't think you see that very often. That is an ice chest, my friends. Drew carries an ice chest all the time because she loves food. So if she happens to go to a place where she has good food, she will actually order extra, put it in that ice chest, and bring it home for yours truly. So she is so nice to me on that level. Maybe only that level though. But I think she has Natalia under control. I'm not hearing a lot of yelling and screaming. Let me see if I can go track her down so we can talk about her favorite exotic.
Michael, regarding the question about which exotic I like best, well, it depends on my mood. And today, I feel like the Jeep just might hit the spot.
Well, my friend, there you have it. Straight from Drew, which exotic she prefers. And you can see by her abrupt departure what type of mood she's in today. As you can see from the black tracks here, when Drew is in a mood, that girl is in a mood. I definitely think that tonight may not be a good evening for me, as I can feel the heat radiating from her body. friends, I didn't want to leave you hanging, but it has been a very long time that Drew has been gone. And she's burning through all my fuel, I might add. Let's check in with her and see how it went.
That was quite satisfying. Let's move on to something even more exciting. My BFF and someone I go raving with all the time. Let's take a closer look at one of my favorite race cars.
As some of you have probably guessed, I'm here at FR Performance with the Rotary God, my legendary good friend Abel Ibarra. And I'm here and he is going to take a few minutes out of his insanely busy schedule. I'm so excited to be here. I've been trying to get down here to visit my friend for months, but I've been so insanely busy. He's busy and such is life. But I finally made it down here, and the greatest part is you guys are all gonna benefit. Now, we can't take a ton of his time because a lot of you already know he's heading to Orlando in October for the 24th through the 27th for the insane comeback match race between Laquito Killer and Abel. And I know all of you will be following Abel and supporting him, right? But I've done something for all of you that I hope you appreciate. I've asked Abel if he would take a few moments to go over the 8. Not very many people have covered the 8, and I've asked him if there's any chance he might even tell us any of his strategy or new things he's doing for the match race. So my friends, let's go inside. Abel, my bro, how are you doing, my man?
Good, how's it going?
It's so
How are you
great to
doing?
see you,
Hello,
man.
nice to see you
man,
too.
nice seeing you too, man. We sure appreciate you taking a moment to show us around the 8. A lot of my viewers aren't even familiar with the 8, and it's, guys, this is way more state-of-the-art than the NSX. This is the car, probably the best car in the entire world as far as I'm concerned. Can you please go over the entire car for those of us that haven't seen it, and then we'd really appreciate it if you'd give us any of that top secret info that's going to make you #1 in October.
So basically, it's what they call a 25-1 full chassis car, which is the specifications on the chassis, on certification for how fast you can go and the safety requirements. And right now we have it apart. A lot of the components are out of it. We're sending back because it's been out of commission and hasn't raced in quite a while, like 9-10 years. With these types of cars, or period, when you go to the track, you need to have certain things that are up to safety codes every 2-3 years. So right now, that's basically what we're doing. We're going to be putting new parachutes on it, new window net, new seat belt, upgrading the fire system, the clutch, the bell housing. As you can see, the suspension is out of it right now. From when we raced till now, suspension technology has evolved so much and they've gained so much. So we had to take them out, make sure they can check the valving, revalve them, put the shocks on the engine dyno, so that we got the best stuff out there that's out there now. So when we go out there, we can try to run real hard. Some of the upgrades that we're going to do, we're going to go to a new precision intercooler, precision turbo. We got also a boost controller that we didn't have before. We're still running the Motec. And one of the major upgrades that I'm real excited, because especially on a Rotary, for you to get it to be very reliable and last and make power, you need to add fuel to it. It needs to have tons of fuel. But with that tons of fuel, you need to be able to burn it. And that's always been a problem, is how do we get enough ignition there? Well, the guys at FuelTech have come out with a great CDI that's been working phenomenal, and we just switched to that. We actually just got it running not too long ago with the new system in it, and we're real excited about that, because from the sound of it and the way the car fired up and sounds, we'll be able to put a lot more fuel to it and be able to burn it, which should help us with our reliability and everything. And then another thing that we're super excited about that wasn't available to us when we were racing, and that kept us on like a string on how much power we could turn it up and how much boost, were the plates that were, you put the engine together. Well, now there's been a couple of years that there's different manufacturers offering, and we decided to go with the Billet Pro, and we're real excited about this, Adam. These are fantastic looking pieces. They look like a work of art, actually, and hopefully with these pieces we'll be able to hit in the upwards of 60 to 70, maybe 80 psi boost, to try to make that big horsepower number, to see if we can go back for the record and maybe even run a 5-second quarter-mile run, be the first Rotary to run a 5-second quarter-mile run.
My goodness, guys, you got the inside scoop. The man is on a mission. Now, Bro, a lot of these people haven't seen these components. Is there any chance you can point them out in the car so we could see this state-of-the-art new ignition you got? Because even me, myself, I'm extremely interested in this type of stuff.
So basically now, not only did we save, wiring, we saved weight. There used to be 4 MSD boxes right there. 3 that would do the leading coils and 3 that would do the trailing. Now we basically cut down to only 2. So I'll give you an example. Spark, how powerful the spark is one of the things that they go by is millijoules. So the boxes that we have had 250 millijoules of energy. These put out 600, so more than double. We've got more than double the spark now that we had before. We cut down on weight, we cut down on wiring. Also over here, we had about 20 pounds worth of coils that used to take this whole side up, and it was bulky and big. We got rid of those, went to all these new modern FuelTech coils. So we cut down on weight, we cut down on wiring, and it's much nicer looking, easier to get into the car and work on it.
Wow, that is amazing, brother.
And then here at the bottom, we have the billet plate, which I don't think you've seen any of these, Adam.
That's exactly what I was saying, my man.
You
I haven't seen anything like this. My stuff is all old school. Like I always told you guys, you want to learn from the master. I'm just old and out of it. Bro, that is amazing. Can we see the other side?
Yeah.
Can you give them the quick rundown?
Yeah, so basically it's all billet aluminum plate, makes it real strong, a lot stronger than the cast iron. And then these have a removable cast iron sleeve so that the seal still ride like if it was factory. And if something happens or this gets damaged, you just switch this out and the plate is still good. Not like before where you have to toss it and throw it away. So they're very serviceable, they're durable, and it's actually the way to go. It's the way of the future if you really want to run hard with these. And the thing that I like about these is they have full water jackets. I'm not a guy that likes to get rid of the water, and stuff. I like to keep my water, keep everything nice and cool. So I chose to go with these. I think these are the best ones out there.
Man, bro, that is incredible. I mean, this is cutting edge stuff. Are there a lot of companies that make those or only one specific company?
I think there's about 4 companies manufacturing aftermarket billet plates right now.
All right, so give us the inside scoop. Who makes the best ones?
I'm going to have to say Billet Pro. That's why I decided to go with them.
Guys, and you've heard me talk about Abel. One thing I'll say is anything that he says is good because he defines spare no expense. Everyone else pales in comparison. That is why I'm afraid to even come visit him. Already I've been here and he's already suggested like several $1,000s of equipment that I need that I had no idea I needed. He can read minds like that. But my man, that is so awesome. Now on those plates, how exactly is the porting done and how much life in comparison to a factory iron will you get on those plates since they're interchangeable, it looks like. Is that correct?
They're interchangeable, but the life should be the same out of the factory plate because the process they do on that sleeve is the same thing like the factory. And as far as the porting, they come a little bit bigger than stock, but you can port them just like if you were porting on a factory iron. Same thing, same deal. So you can put your port, whatever port you want on there, or you can leave it the way it comes.
Okay, I'm going to assume since you're running those just by default that they're very expensive, but in my mind, I'm thinking here that the aluminum portion of that iron, is that reusable?
Yes, it is.
So does that mean that as you move on, you're actually going to start saving money because you'll only be replacing the surface where the rotor's running? Is that correct?
That's if you even have to replace it.
Wow.
That's even if you have to replace that surface. So in the long run, yes. Because all it takes is for you to miss your tune a little bit, in all-out racing or something to happen, and boom, there goes the plate. And it's not so much the plate blowing up, it's when you have the water and oil leak that gets under your tires, and that could lead to, that could get disastrous. Some folks get lucky, but some don't, and that's when you, can run into the other car or run into the wall. So that's what we're trying to avoid. We're trying to maintain as much reliability with as much horsepower as we can make.
Guys, this is just all cutting edge stuff, and really even beyond me, this stuff was not available. And as you can imagine, Abel and I are having a lot of conversations off camera, but one thing I wanted to introduce that's probably really important to all of you is that as easy as it looks for Abel to be the fastest in the world, it is a rough go. And we are always talking about the fact that even running the best components, it's still really hard. So why would you want to go with an inferior component and already be behind everybody else? Now, my friend, please give us your opinion on that.
It's like I tell, customers and I talk to other people, you're absolutely correct. Everything breaks. It's not a matter of, the thing is, you want to run with the best proven products that have the most R&D to give you a better chance, because You're still going to spend the same amount of effort. You're still going to spend the same amount of man hours. And why not just from the get-go save yourself a lot of headaches and money in the long run and just go with the products that work the best? And that's what we always tend to do. We do a little bit of our homework. We figure out what companies we're going to go with or what companies are making the best products, and we head in that direction. Because one thing is, once you're in the mix and you're there on the track and crunch time comes, there's not a lot of time. So you don't want to be doing things over 2 and 3 times, or worse, show up to race day, show up to the track thinking you're ready to go and have something fell on you and you can't even make the show, or you're not even there to make it to the line. So that's why we tend to stick with the best things we can buy.
Words of wisdom from a legend. Now, my friend, a lot of people really haven't seen the inside of the 8, and including me. I mean, and you've given us incredible amounts of inside information of how you're going to do your job in October, and we love that. Can you just give us a quick rundown of the car in general?
Yeah, you go through that side, I'll come over here through this side.
Okay.
You can look through the door and I'll show you. So basically, it's very basic in here. You have your steering wheel. This button on the steering wheel is called the line lock. This is how you lock the front tires to do the burnout and staging. And then we have a clutch pedal, a brake pedal, and a gas pedal. As you can see, we have 2 switches on the clutch pedal. And those one does one thing, another does another thing. So they control, one of them controls the shocks and the boost controller. The other one controls the 2-step for the launch control on the line. And then up here we have, a basic switch panel where you can turn on and off all your stuff, your shocks, your water pump, fan, your ignition, you start, and we even have a fuel trim. We have a fuel trim, so we're, depending on the weather conditions, if we see that the weather got a little bit better, we can add fuel. If we see the weather got a little bit worse or we want to tame it down a little bit, we can mess with the fuel trim. Over there is where we have all our electronics set up. We have the Motec, we have the FuelTech CDIs, all our relays and stuff like that, kept over there on the panel. And then in back of you, right in back of you, we have the most important stuff, which is the fire system. That's the one that's going to save you in case anything goes wrong. Most people say, why do you have 2? Hey, for the amount of weight that it's going to add, I'd rather have 2 and know that I got 1 on me and 1 on the engine. And in case I do get a fire, I can, turn the fire off as soon as possible.
And just so all of you know, both of us have survived fires. It's all bad times. And he's right. You just can't have enough fire suppression, because when that flame's coming towards you, and if I'm not mistaken, my friend, on your car, you can't even see the flames, can you?
No, because it's alcohol. It burns alcohol, so you really can't see it. You're going to start to feel the heat before you see the flames. And when you see the flames, it's going to be pretty late.
It's all bad time, guys. Basically, no barbecues. So you can't see the flame. The heat is insane. It's just a rough go. So no matter what, I mean, tons of respect for Abel. He's been doing it forever. He's making a comeback. He's one of the only original of all of us that has the strength to bring it all back together. And we really appreciate it, brother. Well, guys, we all need to get together, all of us, and support Abel in his run. I mean, I know all of you are huge fans of his already. So we really appreciate, my man, for giving us this huge look at the 8. And man, we know you're going to tear it up. You always come through. This man always comes through.
I'm going to try to come through. And I got a special treat for you. So we're going to take off for a quick second while I get things ready. I know you've never heard the 8 fire up, so I'm going to do a couple of little things to prep it and start it up for you and your viewers, at least so you can hear how it sounds.
Oh my God, man. We can't thank you enough. Guys, stay tuned. Man, guys, that was so insane. I can't even friggin' believe it. It has been ages since I've been around any of Abel's cars, and my ears are now bleeding. On top of that, I don't know about all of you, but I feel like I need a really cold shower. Bro, you are just a man, always living up to everything. Thank you so much, man. From the bottom of my heart and all of our viewers, thank you for firing the 8 for us.
No problem. I thought I'd give you that special treat, especially since you hadn't heard it before.
We're all very thankful, and I hope you guys appreciate it. Brother, thank you so much for everything, my man. You are just a man. It was great, my man. Well, guys, see you next time.
See ya.